Hi guys, this is Simeon from Swedish Homestead. Today we are in the forest. This is the third video in this little series where we talk about chainsaws in general. In the first one, the models we use, and the second one, what to think about when you buy one. And now my brother is going to share about the two different tool belts he uses and what he has in them, why he wears them this way. So here we go.
So I think what kind of tool belt you wear or what you put on it depends on the kind of work that you're looking at doing. So therefore I have two different setups. There's different things on them for different purposes. I always think it's good to go as lightweight as possible, not to carry around anything unnecessary. And that way, if you have different setups for different things, you do not have to carry things with you that are unnecessary for the work you're going to do. So this is my first belt that I ever had, and there's a lot of different ways you can set it up. I always like the leather belts more than plastic or anything else. I'm old school like that, but I have these two holsters here for my tools, and sort of like a hammer loop for my axe, as well as a little tool pouch in the back for a few things. And this is what I wear when I'm thinning, where the trees are not very big and where I will have to gather the logs together as long as they're not too heavy. So here I have a holster for my lifting tong, and on the other side I have another holster for my lifting hook, as well as a little wedge that I carry with me. When I'm thinning, most of the time I can just push the trees over by hand, and sometimes they're a little bigger and I need a wedge, but then typically one wedge is sufficient. Otherwise I have to go and get something extra. So I can just demonstrate to you real quick why I have them set up the way I do, the tong and the hook, and how you can use them. Say you're working with your chainsaw and you're done limbing a log and it's cut off, and you want to turn it around to check the underside, and it's a lighter log, so you think you can do it with one hand. You do not want to put your chainsaw down, so you want to have the hook in your holster in a way that it comes out with the hook pointing the right direction. And I carry it here, so I have the hook part pointing forward, so that when I take it here with my hand, it's pointing towards me, so I can just take the log and roll it like that and check the underside. The reason I have the hook on that side is say that I'm done cutting this log and limbing it and I want to carry it over there. I can again hold my chainsaw here, pull out my tong, and just with one hand take the log with me. If there's a log that I want to carry a little bit further, I use both tools, the tong and the hook, and I just pull them out where they are with either hand. And so take the tong like that, and then that keeps the log from turning, and I just take the hook also to give me extra support. That way I'm using both arms, and I carry it evenly with my back. I don't just bend over and wreck my back. It makes it a lot easier if you keep these sharp, so it's good to file them every now and then, because if they pull out of the wood and you drop it, it's just gonna make you very tired. I also have my logger's tape hanging on my right side here. Some people carry it in the back. I prefer it here. It's easy to use, and mostly if I want to check something, I don't have to reach back and pull it forward and accidentally pull off the hook, but I can just see it right here. So I like to have the logger's tape on my side. Then I carry an axe with me. The axe has really three tasks, or three functions for me. One is obviously to pound in my wedge. Another one is if I should get my saw stuck and I don't have another saw anywhere close by. Many times it's just a little tiny piece of wood that causes that, and often you can actually reach it and just take your axe and cut away that little piece that's causing the pinch, and that way you release your saw and you're good to go. And the third would be if you come across a tree where the bark is very dirty because somebody's been digging around it and there's dirt up against it, or where, for example, snow is constantly being plowed up against it with sand and stuff in it, or also a windfall where the salt from the root dropped on top of the trunk, you can use your axe to cut away the bark, and that way you don't dull your chain on it. So that's what I use my axe for. And on this belt I have this hammer loop kind of thing. That's how I always used to carry it. But you will see on the other belt I have a little pouch, which I like much better. Because this way it's easy if you're climbing over something to actually kick it out and you lose it, and it's just gets in the way more, and it's easier for you to drop it if it gets caught in branches and things. On the back I also have a little tool pouch. This one is getting pretty old and it's time to replace it. That's why I carry my file on this belt. In here I have a chainsaw wrench, and there's little other things you can put in there. For example, a spare hook for your logger's tape or a small screwdriver. So this is my setup for working with bigger trees. There's a couple things that are the same, and then a few things that are different. What's the same is my pouch on this side with my logger's tape, same setup. But I don't carry a tong with me here, I only have a hook. And the reason is because bigger trees are thicker and heavier, and you typically cannot even carry any of those logs and bring them into a pile. So therefore the hook is enough for me to be able to turn the log, to check the underside, and also if I should have to carry a smaller piece, that's still sufficient to help me out with that task. But the tong is kind of unnecessary in that scenario, in my opinion. Then on the other side, instead of one wedge, I have this pouch with 3 big wedges, and 3 wedges allow me to wedge over almost any tree that doesn't have a really big bag lean. So with 3 wedges you can really do a lot of tree felling. If one isn't enough, you can stack the other 2 on top of each other. Also in my wedge pouch I carry my file and my chainsaw wrench, which then eliminates the need for an extra tool pouch. So instead I have a little first aid kit. I do not carry a first aid kit in the other belt. I've started to carry one in my pants, because my pants are always on me. The belt sometimes stays behind for whatever reason, but I always have a first aid bandage to stop a severe bleeding in my pants. But here I also have one on my belt as well, in this little waterproof pouch. And then the last thing on this belt is the axe scabbard, which I like much better over the hammer loop, because it goes in the opposite way from the axe is pointing up, or the handle is pointing up, and therefore it's not that easy for you to kick it out with your feet when you're walking through the brush. And also, should you choose to have a really sharp axe with you, it's tucked away in the scabbard and you don't hurt yourself on it.
Does it hurt you in the back when you lean or bend? Does the handle get into your back?
I can feel it a little bit, but it's not really bothering me too bad.
Okay.
You get used to it.
So people are gonna kill me if you don't tell them what kind of axe you use here. You don't want to use the most expensive axe here.
No. In the forest it happens that you lose them. This one I painted yellow here so it would be easier to find it, but I do not buy the most expensive ones. This one is still a pretty good quality one, because I do not like to work with cheap quality tools that come apart on you when you need them the most. So this is Hultafors. It's a Swedish brand. Pretty decent also. Not really comparable to Kranfors.
But it's kind of like a Husqvarna axe.
It's very comparable to the Husqvarna in quality.
Yeah. Some of these things are personal preferences. It's not what you have to do. But I hope you enjoyed the insight and experience from my brother Tim, and how he just does all of this to be part of the channel and to give you guys all of this knowledge. So let's give him a big thank you and a thumbs up for him, and I hope you will subscribe if you haven't done so. We are starting to build up a big base of lots of videos in different subjects. Check it out. We have set up our channel page in a way that you can see all the different subjects and easily access all the videos. So we will see you in the next video. Want to thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.